This is Sonic, and you're watching JD Frank 20.
Good morning, everybody. And yes, what you're seeing right now is actually the live feedback of what the score is right now. Now, again, be advised, even some of the great games haven't had good reputations with these companies. First of all, for Metacritic, obviously, why do we even follow critic scores? Let's be realistic here for a quick second. You do realize that Sonic Unleashed did get a score of a 60, correct? By all these so-called critics. Well, they're critics, but at the end of the day, I just call them a bunch of rejects who couldn't cut it in the news media industry, and they're trying to make themselves look relevant by covering video games, and some of them don't even know what the hell they're talking about. But whatever, you know. If you want to take the word of a critic, that's fine. Obviously, the user-based score isn't up yet, and that's the score that matters the most. I mean, you have to realize that. I mean, look at Sonic Unleashed. As you're seeing the screenshot from the beginning, the user score is an 8.5 out of 10 compared to the critic score, which is a 60. Now, I understand maybe some of the critics didn't know how to play Sonic Unleashed because the control scheme can be a little bit challenging. That's understandable. But critics should just, basically just stick to just reviewing movies and not reviewing video games. I'm just stating facts here, people. When it comes to reviewing video games or things like that, get some legitimate people who know what the fuck they're talking about. Alright? Now, let's look at the scores right now. Obviously, right now, as a result, right now, when you're adding up almost around over 30 scores, over 30 critic scores, because let's be real, that's whose opinion matters, apparently. The score is a 73 as of right now. Now, don't panic. Don't panic. Again, anything above a 7, it was to be expected, okay? So I knew it was a long shot to get a 90, let's be real here. Alright, let's look at Game Rant, obviously. I'm going to post a screenshot of basically the most, well-known critics, let's be real here, which would be either IGN, yeah, IGN apparently, or Game Rant, or basically, anybody who's basically recognizable. Some of these names aren't recognizable, and if they are, they're fucking not credible, at least not to me, at least. So I'll post the screenshots here, and then we'll go from there. Started off good. Let's be real here. IGN Japan. Okay, I had no idea IGN even had a branch in that region. Good to know. Obviously the one thing everyone's saying about these reviews is, the game, it's good. It's mixed. It's got a mixed reception, obviously, but the open zone formula, or open world, whatever you prefer to call it, that's to be expected. I honestly thought just because of that alone, the game could have easily scored an 80 just by itself. That it's open zone. It's changing from its traditional formula. Again, did I honestly expect Sonic Frontiers to at least beat Generations or Colors? Most likely not, just because those two games are great. Those two games could even break an 80. And review scoring at that time was a lot more stricter, I believe. I don't know if it's tamed right now or if it's more strict right now. I don't know. Like I said, who gives a damn what a critic says? Seriously. You're going to follow the word of a critic compared to someone like me? Or to compare to, the people on YouTube who you actually trust? Come on, let's be real here. And of course, there are some people review bombing the scores. And I'm going to post those screenshots of those reviews. And let's look at the main one right here by IGN. Sonic Frontiers is a delightful, weird, and experimental evolution of the Sonic games so many of us grew up with. Its series of open-world islands are filled with so much variety and pieces of Sonic history, from classic platforming stages to silly minigames. Well, first of all, the minigames are not silly. The minigames are fun replay value, idiots. You understand the term replay value is to keep the game going. Shit, Sonic Forces gave you none of that. No replay value, no minigames, no nothing. Most games would give you an option like that. Hell, even Sonic Colors gave you that. I mean, yeah, collect the Red Star rings and then do the extra missions to unlock the Chaos Emeralds. Yeah, it may have been maybe cheap replay value, but it was replay value nonetheless. It gave you a reason to play the games back. That's one problem with Forces. They didn't even give you that. And no episode shadow doesn't count. Again, getting a score in the upper 70s is not really bad. I mean, it shows room for improvement. It's better than its predecessor. So can we at least agree? Can we at least be positive on that? All right, let's look at this bullshit review by Digital Trends. While not outright broken like Sonic the Hedgehog 2006 or Sonic Boom Rise of Lyric, What an asshole, saying it that way. Sonic Frontiers is a heavily misguided game that muffles good ideas with questionable narrative, technical, and gameplay design decisions. Sonic Team considers to demonstrate that it's not quite sure what to do with the blue blur, taking a wild swing with the game that tries to rival open world games rather than double down on the strengths of newer titles like Sonic Generations and Sonic Mania, or older success like Sonic Adventure series. Okay, now that last paragraph right there, they're not wrong. They're not wrong. Again, Sega took a huge risk going with open world. Again, the fans were saying, do we stick with the boost formula? I understand Forces could have been better if the story was if they would have just gone with a better story and just didn't rush the game, add more elements, make it similar to a Colors, but at the end of the day, give it its own identity. That's what Sonic Forces is to me. It's a game that has no identity. It doesn't know, it's just a boost game, but it's just a ripoff of Colors. Let's be real here. It's dull, it's bland, it's soulless. But at the end of the day, are we really surprised? Critics, all they are is they just get a free review copy. They get paid to either exaggerate or tell the truth or whatever. And that's it. That's all they do. They're not real diehard fans of the series. They could care less about the series. All they're given is a review copy, give their opinion, get paid. That's it. Just do away with the critics. That's all I'm saying. Their opinions don't mean a damn thing these days. Let me know what y'all think, and I gotta go. Good day.